Hey, well, I think first of all, I should explain my face and my absence. I had an accident on Saturday. I was knocked unconscious for quite a while, and woke up in the hospital. And I have a broken arm, and well, this one's broken and this one's sprained, and obviously something hit my face. And the hardest part about it is that no one saw it. Nobody has a clue what happened. We think I was leading a horse that I had been riding, and I dismounted to go through the gate to the yard. And that's the last thing I remember is getting off the horse. We had a lovely ride. Next thing I know, I woken up in hospital, and that was like 2 hours later. So yeah, been a little bit under the weather, and so I won't be making quite as many videos. I had a little bit of concussion the last couple of days, so I felt like shit. Feeling much better today, though I got the news that I have to have surgery again on Saturday. So that's put me in a funk. But anyway, the good news is that I still think about this. Everything, even this shit show, is easier when you're fully recovered. Because I know that when I wasn't recovered, one of the first sort of thoughts would be like, well, I've got to can't use my arm for 6 months, so how am I going to do X, Y, Z exercise? And now my response is like, I'm still not happy about the fact that I can't use my arm for 6 months, don't get me wrong, but it certainly isn't about that. So, and even just with the concussion, I really didn't do much at all the last couple of days. I let other people take care of all the horses and was able to just be like, I need to rest and I need to close my eyes and I need to not do very much. And I don't think I would have done that when I had an eating disorder. Oh no, I would have hauled my ass out into the yard and been mucking stalls with a concussion and all that shit. So I still feel blessed that I'm recovered. Anyway. Oh, I've got lots of questions. I'm just going to pick a random one, guys, okay? There's me. Hello, love. Is it normal to have rampant yeast infections, eczema, etc. after loads of surgeries and antibiotics, not eating for the past year, now eating unrestricted, etc.? Don't completely understand the question. I think that you're saying, is it normal to have yeast infections, eczema, etc.? But you're saying that you're not eating for the past year and now you're eating unrestricted. If you haven't been eating for the past year, now you're eating unrestricted, I think anything that your body actually decides to throw at you is pretty fair game, don't you? Because you're completely deregulating your entire system by restricting food. So I imagine that when you stop restricting food, your body's got a lot of shit to try and work out. So I would, before you ask, is it normal questions, because there is no normal in recovery, I would only start asking, is it normal questions after you've been eating without restriction for a good year or more and everything's died down, and then you'll actually be able to work out what is normal for your body. But in the acute stages of stopping restriction, actually eating without restriction, there is no normal. And so don't worry about is something normal or not. Deal with what you need to deal with and just be compassionate for your body and what it's been through and what it's trying to go through, and try not to be too impatient with it. Give it time, continue to give it lots of food and allow it to sort itself out. And if you are truly worried about something, of course, you should be talking to a medical doctor. Thank you, Teddy Bear, and everyone else. Oh, okay, all right. Nima says, my family members restrict a lot, and I think one has an eating disorder. This makes it very hard for me to continue recovery. What should I do, and should I try and help them? First of all, focus on you. Focus on getting yourself, if not fully recovered, somewhere close to it before you worry about, I think, trying to help other people. Best intentions, I get it, but I know that also one of the reasons that you want to help them not restrict is because it would make it easier for you not to restrict if other people were not restricting. And that's a different thing. That's actually you feeling that you want other people to eat so that you can have permission to eat. That is actually a permission to eat question, not a necessarily just a caring about somebody else's health question. And so it's important to make that differentiation, because when something is a permission to eat question, it is actually 100% on you to sort out. And so think about it that the bigger challenge for right now is for you to be able to eat without restriction while everybody else is restricting. And think that if you can eat without restriction while everybody else is restricting, then you've pretty much nailed recovery, haven't you? Because you'll have crossed a very difficult bridge and everything is going to be a lot easier going forward from there. If you can actually get yourself eating without restriction, surrounded by people who are restricting. So see it as I get that you care for your family. Think about that as, all right, put that on the back burner for a little bit. Gonna sort out trying to help the family recover from their eating disorder after I've recovered from mine. But on the front burner, the more pressing thing to sort out is you needing permission to eat, and needing permission to eat by seeing other people eat without restriction. That's still needing permission to eat. It's just sort of like a little bit sneaky permission to eat coming through. And so whenever you get that feeling of noticing that person over there is not eating as much as I know that they really want to eat, actually see that as a reflection in your own mental hunger. And that actually you are sort of saying, I want them to eat more so that I feel I can eat more. And that means that actually what you need to do is, just because you had all those thought patterns, you have to force yourself to eat more food. Hope that makes sense. Emmy says, I'm mentally hungry at home all the time after 4 months of unrestricted eating, but not at all when other people are shopping with, etc. Why am I so hungry after all this time when I'm not away? Well, I guess that your brain has been conditioned to understand that when you're out shopping or you're distracted or things like that, food is not going to come. And so therefore it sort of doesn't bother quite as much. The fact that you're mentally hungry all the time when you're at home means that you're still probably needing to eat a lot more food. And that indicates that you're in energy deficit because you still have mental hunger. So what you need to assume is that it's a little bit of a sort of like blip there. When you're out shopping or you're distracted or you're doing something else, your brain's kind of going like, oh, well, I may as well turn off hunger because you're not going to eat anyway. But just because your brain did that doesn't mean that you're not hungry. So you have to assume when you're out shopping or when you're doing something else that actually you're really hungry, and you have to force yourself to continue to eat very frequently in those times. And you'll probably find that, say, if you're out shopping and you walk past a cookie bar and you actually decided to go and get some cookies, you'd find that you will be very well able to eat them. So don't you worry about that. So the mental hunger that you feel at home is a bit for me like my ability to binge at night. I sort of wouldn't feel that hungry during the day necessarily, but at night it would be like this ravenous binge hunger. You've got to see that as like, that is the evidence I'm in energy deficit, and I now need to force myself to eat in times, even when I don't feel that hungry, because ultimately I'm only really going to get out of energy deficit if I'm eating consistently throughout the day. So I hope that makes sense. Basically what I'm saying to you is you need to force yourself to eat whilst you're out. Do not allow being out and about and being distracted like that to be an excuse for you not to eat. And even if you don't actually feel particularly hungry whilst you're out and about doing something, just push yourself to eat anyway and see what happens. You'll probably find that the hunger does then come. And of course, as long as you have that large hunger when you're at home, that means that you're still in energy deficit and there's still work to do. And so you can't be taking long periods of time when you're going off doing things without eating. All right, I hope that makes sense. Stephanie says, I'm eating more during the day, but I'm starving at night. When will this pass? Stephanie, it will pass when your body is good and ready for it to pass. When it will pass is kind of not really your concern, is it? Your body will sort that out. And you wanting it to pass sooner won't make it pass any sooner. I hate to tell you that. Your body has been through your body's been through a roller coaster ride, and you can't expect it to just hurry up and get recovered. It will take its sweet time. So just try and enjoy the process. You like eating, right? So enjoy the process of being hungry. Your body will stop the sort of desire to eat at night when your body is fully satisfied of the fact that there's no famine in the environment and out of energy deficit. Those two things sort of have to be true before your body is going to give up on that. Remember, your body binging at night does think that's what is saving it and is keeping it safe, and it's doing it because it needs to do it. So definitely don't be mad at your body. Your body's just trying to do its thing that it needs to do to keep you safe. You focus on trying to be patient, trying to enjoy it, trying not to be in a rush, and definitely be compassionate for that beautiful, wonderful, intelligent body of yours that's just trying to do its best to recover. It's not got an agenda to just go slow on purpose to piss you off, I promise. So be patient with it. In the same way, I'm going to have to be patient of mine and not do very much for the foreseeable future. All right, guys. Bye.